Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, if you had to choose one area of commercial real estate to invest in, it would have to be apartments. People have to have a place to live. We'll be talking to an expert next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I've had a number of experts on my show talking about commercial real estate, and let's break that down. When you talk about commercial real estate, that describes a lot of territory, everything from office buildings to warehouse to multifamily and apartments. And everything that I'm hearing is the best place to be is in apartments because people always have to have a place to live. It's fairly recession-proof. To talk about that today, an expert, Eric Leyendecker. He's the Director of Land Acquisition at Anthem Development. Thanks for coming in on the show.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Jeff.
Well, tell us what your journey into commercial real estate.
So I first started at Henry S. Miller as a land brokerage kind of associate, trying to figure out where I fit in the business. My family has a background in development and more of the retail space. However, I wanted to create my own path, and I knew that Dallas was a great metro area. I was also born and raised here, so I knew the market fairly well. However, my experience in real estate was finite coming out of college. Henry S. Miller gave me a great opportunity to work with developers so I could source land deals for them and also work with them to make sure that I could further myself in this industry as well.
And you're now working with a very prominent family, the Beck family. Who in Dallas doesn't know Scott Beck? So tell us more about Anthem Development and Beck.
So Anthem Development was created by one of my childhood friends, Ross Frankfurt, and his partner, Will McNutt. They struck a partnership with the Beck family as a 50-50 company, and now which is called Anthem Development. Their sole goal is to build garden-style and podium-style multifamily development deals just around the Dallas metro area. And Ross and I have been trying to work with each other for a while. I was previously with JPI and a few other development companies, but always wanted to kind of stamp my own business with a family friend such as Ross. So right now, we have 2 projects that are being leased right now, and we have a pipeline of about 3 to 5 different projects that we're trying to capitalize currently so we can further our business going into 2025.
And I was so impressed. I pulled up the projects page on your website, and as we scroll down this, I'm so impressed at kind of like the diverse nature of the investments that you guys are making. So as you're looking at that, why don't you describe a little bit of it?
So Midtown, which I'm sure a lot of the Dallas area knows about, is the old Valley View Mall. I grew up going to that mall. Right now, we actually do have building plans for a project right now. However, the market, it is very tough to capitalize a deal such as that. We would love to get a project like that going. We actually office right next to the site where we would develop it. The Trophy Town Center, the Becks have been working on that for years. It's a great development, mixed use, retail, townhomes, apartment living, very well done and spread out. And then below that is one of our newest projects is in Garland. It was actually an excess land parcel from Walmart right there. And we worked with the city of Garland for almost 2 years to get that figured out as far as zoning, permits, and ended up winning an award for their TOD district for how we set everything up there with retail in the front and then our apartments in the back.
Wow. And multifamilies, and it goes on forever and ever. Let's talk about Dallas-Fort Worth as just a great place to do business. I grew up in Detroit, and when the auto industry was struggling, there was almost a recession across the entire state. We've got something like 100,000, 200,000 people moving here every single year. This is a great place. We've got some video from our library that we're going to put up. Talk about how hot a market Dallas is.
Well, just like you said, it is a very hot market. When I was growing up here, Frisco was farmland, and now Jerry Jones has put the Cowboys facility there. So it's been growing like crazy, and you're right. It's diversified in its industry. So unlike Detroit, where if there is a downturn in the auto industry, it doesn't affect the whole city. However, right now, even with everything going on with inflation in the markets and kind of having a down financial year for a lot of industries, Dallas has stayed relatively strong, and we are still seeing a lot of capital come to Dallas because of the growth that it's showing right now.
Sure, and you pointed out that, when I came to Dallas in 92, Frisco was a little speck on the map. It was just a little country town. If I was smart enough to put some money together, I would have looked at, where does the tollway go?
Exactly. Yeah. And
Curtis did some property. So have all the deals been found? Is it challenging to find land deals?
it is challenging to find land deals, and I feel like a lot of the capital groups that I work with right now are focusing on the suburban markets, as there is a void for apartment living. There's new industries coming in Frisco and Plano and Richardson still, and there's still an underserved market in certain areas for great school systems, but affordable living is still a very big issue in Dallas-Fort Worth. The single-family housing rental department right now is actually starting to make a comeback a little bit for families that kind of need a little more space, but also there isn't a lot of land in your core Dallas projects. So we are focusing more in the Lewisvilles, the Grand Prairies, kind of in those suburban areas that make a lot more sense from a land perspective as far as a capital and need perspective for our tenants.
And tell me how you go about doing your job. Do you ever just get in the car and drive to Garland and just see what there is?
Absolutely. It's a mixture. I mean, a lot of the time I can't do my job unless I am out knowing exactly the streets, knowing what land parcels are available. You can't just sit at a desk and scroll online. You make contacts a lot through this industry as far as brokers, capital groups, or just developers that have excess land and they don't know what to do with it. So I would say networking is about 50% of my job, just to know what's going on in this market.
And every once in a while, you get lucky and the timing is right. Maybe a family owns a parcel that is in demand, but they have to liquidate for whatever reason. So talk about what's maybe your crown jewel so far, either with Beck or with any other company?
I would say not so much crown jewel, but just a project we're working on in Lewisville. Unfortunately for the group before us, they did a great job zoning the site. It's a site in Lewisville that we hope to close in February 2025. But just like you're saying, they had to drop it. They could not capitalize the deal when the interest rates were up last year. We saw an opportunity and sat down with the land seller and actually negotiated just at the table, which you don't see a lot these days. It's usually just trading paper over emails, but we came to an agreement, and it's been a great, not only for us to fill our pipeline, but also to get other capital groups interested as we go into 2025 and expand our pipeline.
And talk about the outlook for 2025. I know there's a lot of optimism. Trump's going back into the White House, and for many Americans, that represents change. What do you guys look at?
Right now, it's still tough for ground-up development. I think a lot of the capital is still interested in existing assets, which there are a lot of that were built in the last 3 years, where maybe they have capitalized it in a way where they're not having enough income come in compared to the interest rates rise. However, we are seeing it in a way where if we are efficient as far as our construction numbers comparatively to other groups, which we have kind of a stranglehold on the market as of right now, we have found a little niche with these capital groups to make sure that we can hit their internal rates of return as far as what they're trying to get on their money in the investment. So right now, I would say beginning of the year, a lot of apartments are probably going to be bought that are existing, but groups will lean towards trying to develop new ones going forward, I'd say in the second or third quarter.
Eric, you've been an amazing guest. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. We're going to end with his website, which is anthemdevco.com. The great Eric Leyendecker. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Jeff.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.